Hey guys, one of the most asked questions this season that I've gotten from friends and family is how the Carolina Reapers are going. We purchased a starter plant from chiliplants.com this spring and planted it. It's going great, and I've actually got a couple that are ready to go. So we were wondering, what are we going to do with the peppers once they were ready? And I thought, instead of just eating them kind of just as they are, I figured we'd do maybe a fire roasted salsa with it. And today we're going to go ahead and make that, and then I'm going to invite some of our friends over and we'll have a unveiling of the salsa. So why don't we go ahead and get the ingredients, we'll see what we have in the garden, and then put the salsa together. Before we head out to the garden, why don't we go over the list of ingredients. I'm going to put them up here on the video for a few seconds. Feel free to go ahead and pause and then write down what you're going to need. You'll have to have some tomatoes, some sweet peppers. We're going to roast those on the grill, some garlic, cilantro, lime juice, onions, vinegar, salt, and a little bit of olive oil. So let's go on out right now, grab what we can, and come back in. Okay, the first thing we're going to need is some tomatoes. So we're going to come over here. I've got 4 sets of tomatoes that we can kind of pick from. We're at the end of the season. As you guys can see, we've got quite a bit of blight that has hit. As with most tomato plants, you're going to come into some kind of blight. I think this particular one is Septoria. Again, we had probably a month of nonstop rain a couple months ago, and just everything was just devastated by the Septoria. And as you guys can see, what I did was I just essentially just took all the affected leaves from a certain area from the bottom, and I just kept kind of working my way up. As the fungus spread, I just cut as many leaves and branches off. And right now I'm just waiting for the fruit to ripen. But it doesn't affect the fruit, and the tomatoes have been fantastic. And for the salsa, we're going to come over here to our Better Boys. And I've been watching a few of these the last few days, and they are ready to go. So we'll do, for the tomatoes, we're not going to get too picky. We're going to have kind of a mixture of some of these Better Boys, and then I'm going to pick some of these Romas, which were supposed to be black cherries, and the plants that the company sent me, they actually sent me, I think these are Romas, but they're pretty good. They're not as sweet. They're more of a pasty for tomato sauce type tomatoes, but they'll work just fine with the salsa. So we'll come over here, I guess, and we'll start with these guys, and I just kind of twist. There's a few of them that are starting to split. They don't look as good, but they taste just fine. My kids won't touch them, but those are just fine there. So we'll get a few of the nice red ones. And for the salsa, we probably want, I don't know, either 3 or 4 really big Better Boys that are about that size, or something kind of comparable. I mean, it's not super exact as you're making the salsa. Again, this is something that I've kind of thrown together from various different recipes, and this one just looks great. Look at that one. That's a great looking tomato. I almost want to save that for a BLT. But let's see what else we've got over here. I've got that one. That could go. And I just give them a little twist, and if they're ready, they come right off. If you're kind of pulling on them too much, they're probably not ready. We got one that's back here. Looks like it's got some sun scorching, and because we've taken all of the leaves off, I'll have to use my scissors to kind of help out. They get scorched and start to rot. So we'll go ahead and pull that guy off. But right now we've got that many, and that should be enough for tomatoes. All right, so we're on the front of the pepper bed. The tomatoes that we picked were behind, And we're going to pick 3 or 4 of our sweet peppers to roast on the grill to give it that nice kind of smoky flavor. And what I like to do is just maybe hit 2 or 3 different of our pepper plants that are ready to go, and we'll get those roasted. Come over here to our golden treasure. I've got 2 nice looking ones here, and we're just going to snap those off. How about that guy there? Beautiful pepper. And we're going to come over here to, let's see here, which one is this one? This is the Godfather peppers. We'll try one of those guys. And how about one of our Cubanelles? And Cubanelles just flowered maybe last week, so they're not as big, but we'll go ahead and snap one of these guys off and get that roasted up. All right, we're back here with our Carolina Reapers, and from our episode a couple days ago, we counted probably close to 20 Carolina Reapers of some stage, but we have it looks like 2 or 3 that are red, that are ready to go. And for our salsa, we're just going to go with 1. So cut this one off. How's that one look? That's pretty good. That's really good. So we'll do 1 Carolina Reaper for our salsa, and I think that'll be enough. All right, on our way back in, we're going to stop in on the cilantro, and we're going to cut quite a bit. We're a big cilantro family, and I don't think you can get enough cilantro in your salsa. So we've got a nice thing there. And the great thing about cilantro, if you can get it to grow in the heat, is the more you cut, the more it grows. So it just smells really good. Okay, that should be enough. So we got our cilantro, sweet peppers, the main dish of our salsa, the Carolina Reaper, tomatoes, and let's go get started. Okay, we got all of our ingredients picked from the garden, and let's take a look. There is the Carolina Reaper, ready to go. Our various sweet peppers, our mixture of tomatoes, the lime, our fresh cilantro, and garlic, and some onions that I picked from the garden a couple days ago. Okay, now that we've got everything picked, we're going to go ahead and start to assemble some things. While you get the food processor going, I would go ahead and start on the grill and get that turned on. And while we're kind of prepping here, we'll go ahead and take the peppers and we'll place them on the grill for, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes. You want just a nice char on it. That gives it that smoky flavor. Okay, so I'm going to grab a colander. One of the things that I've kind of learned from doing salsa the last few weeks is the tomatoes, as the salsa kind of sits, gets really watery. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the tomatoes, we're going to put them in the colander and let the water kind of drain out. We want just kind of the meat of the tomatoes. So why don't we go ahead and get our cutting board, and we are going to just cut up the tomatoes a little bit and then put them into the food processor. Give them a quick wash. Nice little cut. And like I said, it's probably 2 to 3 handfuls of tomatoes. You kind of eyeball it to see the consistency you want in the salsa. I've got 2 large of the Better Boys and then several of these smaller Romas. And we're going to cut those up just like that. We've got the Better Boys. We're going to give those a rinse. Take off the stem. Put those off to the side for now. If I had my compost bin, we would put that right in the bin, but I actually just took the bin outside. And I'm just going to cut these up into little chunks, and we're going to throw those into I'm going to throw those into the food processor, but actually first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the colander. Let me go back in here and make sure my food processor is unplugged. I don't want to cut off my fingers. And what we're going to do with those is kind of smash them up and get the water out of them just a little bit. Cut this up. That's good. That's great. All right, we got it in the colander. Give them a good squeeze. And it's just kind of releasing all of the juices. There you go. Now we're ready to put them in the food processor. Take the tomatoes, got those in there. Just gotta get the blade on it better. How about we do this? There we go. Tomatoes are in. Okay. Quick wash, and let's cut up the rest of our ingredients. Got a big knob of garlic, a little bit of elephant garlic. I like the size of the elephant garlic, although I don't find it as flavorful as the regular sized garlic. Cut that up, put that in there. Okay, our cilantro. Just going to bunch that up, cut it up. Toss that in there. Get our lime. Make sure we don't get any seeds in there. And I'd usually go with maybe one full lime. Get a nice that lime juice in there. I'm going to start with half of one right now, and then I'll run and go get another one here in just a second when we get it all kind of blended together, and add it just to kind of fine tune the flavor up. And finally, we'll take the Carolina Reaper. Now, I probably should use some gloves, but I want to do this like kind of quick. I may regret this. So I'm going to get the water running, and I'm going to be careful when I cut into it because I have no idea how juicy or something if I cut into that and the juices kind of fly back into me. So I'm going to give my knife a quick sharpen. We're going to cut the tip off the habanero, or I'm sorry, the Carolina Reaper. Make some more room here. There goes the tip. Here's the inside. Not much of a smell. I'm just going to cut it in half and then put it into the food processor. There is the Carolina Reaper cut in half. I'm going to dump that in, and then I'm going to give my hands a really good wash. Got some of our fresh onion from the garden. Cut the ends off of these. We'll get them peeled and added. These are Japanese onions, Tokyo onions. Real small, but lots of flavor. Peel that one, and this one's ready to go. And it's been probably 3 or 4 minutes since we've cut all this stuff up, and our peppers on the grill probably are ready to turn, so let's go check those out. All right, at the grill, it's been a few minutes, and we're starting to get a little bit of a char on the peppers, so that's looking good. Look at that. So probably another 3-4 minutes. I've got the grill on high, so we really want to get them kind of blackened up. We'll come and check on those here in just a little bit. All right, back to our food processor. Got everything cut up in here. We're going to add a little bit of vinegar. This is probably, probably tells me right here. It's probably a little over 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Do a touch of olive oil and salt. And I've got this great McCormick smoked sea salt, which I've used on just about everything. It's got a great flavor. It smells so good. So we're gonna put that in. Okay. Gonna fit our top on. Then we're going to plug in, and we're going to finally chop it up. All right, so we've chopped it up a little bit, and you've got that nice salsa consistency. And it's been another couple minutes, so why don't we go check on those peppers and see if we can get those added in also. All right, we're back for the peppers, and these are going to be ready to go. Nice blackened skin on that one. That one's looking good, and this one is ready. Juicy. Oop. All right, we've got the peppers back inside, and they are hot. And they smell really, really good being out on the grill. And again, this is going to give it that smoky flavor in the salsa. And what we're going to do is just take the ends, cut off the ends, and then toss it in, give it one last final cut, and we'll let it simmer overnight. Cut. In there. Discard the top. Back in there. Discard the top. Discard the top, and the final pepper in here. All right, let's put the lid back on, give it another couple pulses. Take a look. Boy, that is smelling pretty good. Oh, and the heat from the Reaper. Woo. I caught a whiff of it, and I can feel it in my eyes. Boy, that's smelling good. Now, the only problem with doing this and eating it blind tomorrow is I can't taste this to fine tune it. So what I'm going to do, I've done this recipe a few times, so I think I'm pretty close to how it should be. But I can't taste it until tomorrow for the video. So this is what it looks like so far. We're gonna have it sit overnight, let all those flavors kind of get together and have a good time together. And tomorrow we'll get everybody together and have the taster video.
Are you serious?
All right, we're finally here to try out the salsa. Yesterday I made it. The ingredients were tomatoes, sweet peppers, cilantro. What else did we put in it? Garlic, onions. Most of the stuff came from the garden, and I did not taste it. I had my wife taste it this afternoon, and the only change we had to make to it was she didn't think it was hot enough.
Thanks.
So for everybody, I added a second Carolina Reaper. You guys can take a look. Just to give it a little more punch. Now, the thing that she said, and I've seen other videos, is that the Reaper has a distinct flavor to it as well as with the spiciness. So we're all gonna take a bite. So take one of your chips, fill it up, and then if you need milk, we've got it on standby. And then I'm just kind of curious to see what you guys think.
Do it all at the same time.
I'm filling up my chip.
Filling it up.
Holy cow.
I can't even get enough in
I'm not feeling
there.
my
Alright.
I don't know, with the smell of it.
Smell of it is how it tastes.
And she said it's a distinct smell. So, okay, on the count of three, we'll all take it and then we'll see how it goes, okay? 1, 2, 3.
I don't want to have down. You ready for milk already?
Good chip taster.
And I would agree that it's not.
What you gonna
It's
need?
a-
Anything?
I don't need it yet. I'm good right now.
That's
How do you not think that's spicy?
a slow burn.
See, I didn't think it was a
So
slow
then,
burn.
the fire's getting hotter.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say that there's a
I could
starting to
keep
spread.
eating it.
there's a distinct flavor to the pepper because I know what this salsa tastes like because we make it with just regular jalapenos. But it's definitely a slower burn, right?
It is. It's getting hotter.
Oh, yeah.
What about you guys?
It's going up my throat. I don't like that.
Hasn't gotten to my throat yet, but I can.
Will's
I
the,
feel like
My
every time,
face.
every time I move my tongue, it gets worse.
now Will's the only one that's gone with milk and peanut butter. He tapped out early. Again, we put in 2 of the Reapers into the salsa, but I mean, I'm not needing to get milk or anything. I mean, I can. It's not something to where I'm just going to sit back one night and just eat it for enjoyment.
So you could eat another?
I could.
I think if I had another, I'd have to get some milk.
Now, is
Doesn't sound
is
super
there
good.
anybody?
Doesn't need anything.
We did bring this here. If anybody wanted to do a full Reaper
I'll
challenge,
eat it.
Or just cut it like in.
the hottest pepper in the world.
Eat it.
Would anybody want to take that challenge while we're here? I don't think I would do it.
Wyatt?
Eat it.
Say that.
No.
Maybe I just got the spiciest stuff at all.
Is it better after another bite?
It's not as bad. I mean, but there is a spiciness to it. But
On bench thought.
I don't know if it's the other ingredients that are making it not as spicy as I thought. I mean, I feel like my head is a little warm.
My head got warmer.
Wyatt's just digging in over there. He just keeps eating it.
You know, Wyatt's doing fine.
Oh, I can have the pepper.
So
Wyatt should do the challenge.
I don't know. Can everybody taste the difference or the pepper though? There's a kind of a different flavor in there. I don't know if I'm
There's just about a 30-second delay.
Yeah.
right.
I had my
Alex is struggling now.
Did you have your second one?
Yeah.
So good.
I even had to chip up and on it to try and pull it.
And I actually had like it come back up
Oh.
a little bit.
I didn't have any of that. I'm thinking it tastes
And like my throat's kind of burning a little bit.
I have it right here.
You can feel it? So, all in all, it's a good challenge. I don't think they're
Somebody eat the pepper.
super gonna kill you spiciness if you put it into a salsa.
Do it, Alex.
One more chance for anybody that wants to do the Reaper Challenge straight.
Eat it. Eat it. Just a
Well, I
bite.
knew you didn't think it was hot.
Just a bite.
But I think the salsa's hot enough to where nobody wants to do the challenge. But the salsa's fine.
Are you gonna
So take a look at the beginning of the video where we put the salsa together, and we'll let you know if anything else happens. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you guys next time.